I have some big news for you. Well, no, it might not be news. Maybe it's a reminder. Grant professionals are superheroes. Absolutely. Yes, you are. Whether you have been in the field for 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 11 years, or maybe so many years that you lost track. Doesn't matter how long you've been in the field, if you are doing the work of learning about funders, about preparing highly competitive grant applications, helping your organizations to manage grant funds, to report on your impact, to tell your story, you are a superhero. Do you need proof? Oh, I have some really cool superpowers that I think are present in lots of grant professionals, grant writers, fundraising professionals who have to write grants, nonprofit professionals who have to write grants to sustain their program. These are superhero powers that I see all the time, and I want to take a moment to help you remember. They're present in you, they're present in others, and they're part of what make your work so powerful. So the first superpower, that of perseverance. You, in your work as a grant professional, absolutely, there is nothing that you will not persevere through. You will make it. Whatever the change might be, policy change, process change, timeline change, it doesn't matter. You are up for the challenge and you are going to help your team and your organization as a whole to make your way through it. All right, maybe that wasn't your superpower. All right, how about this one instead? The power of storytelling. How do you take the really incredible work of the organization or the organizations, plural, that you work with and tell it in a way that is going to, regardless of word or character count, hook that grant maker, hook that reviewer so that they are engaged in your story. They want to be part of your impact. They want to know more. They want to say yes. That's because of your storytelling. It's because of what you see as the creative ways that you can connect the dots across different questions, across different application structures. That is one of your superpowers. Still looking to hear about yours? Or maybe looking to acknowledge that you have more than one superpower? How about this one? The power of connection. Yes, that is an image of a very young Kevin Bacon on the screen. And it's because of that idea that there could be 6 degrees of separation between you and someone that knows Kevin Bacon. All right, you're right. As grant professionals, we're not trying to get just to Kevin Bacon. We're trying to get to grant makers in our community, in our region, in our state, across the country. We're trying to get to their board members, their staff members. And it's not always about how we individually are connected. Often it is about how our board members are connected or our CEO is connected. Your superpower is helping to find where are those dots. Maybe LinkedIn gives us a little boost to help give some ideas, some paths to start to follow, but it is so much more than that. You are helping to uncover the warm introductions, the opportunities for connections to be made so that you become part of the awareness circle for a grant maker so they are aware of your work and your impact. Now, I've been using the phrase grant professional, I've said grant writer, but you know what I haven't said? Facilitator. Regardless what your job title is, what your job description says, the role of facilitator, it definitely is one of those other duties as assigned at a minimum for all of us who are working on grants. It takes strong facilitation skills to pull together in an internal grant folks from finance and from program and from leadership and from fundraising to move an application forward so it gets submitted before the deadline. Expand that conversation to be about collaborative grant applications and whew, your facilitation skills are 110% superpower like. Now you've got different technology, different working rules. You've got all sorts of different preferences for how you're going to bring these groups together, let alone how you're going to bring all that written work together. So you are an awesome facilitator. Got a few more superpowers that I think are present in lots of grant professionals, and let's see what you think. The power of big picture thinking. You see the big picture. You see how this one, maybe albeit small, $10,000 grant might turn into a relationship and the opportunity for a much larger multi-year grant. That's big picture thinking. You, as a grant professional, you hear that sidebar conversation at a team meeting and you wonder, gosh, that would be a really great, distinct project for this funder that we're meeting with next week. And you help take that little sidebar conversation and turn it into something that is a meaningful idea that a grant maker is engaged in. Big picture, always dreaming thinking. Now, this one's maybe a little more logistical. The list of grant applications never seems to end. And the time which we have to complete those grant applications never seems to get any longer. If anything, it gets shorter. So the power of time bending, of getting application work done in a highly competitive way, in very creative, collaborative ways, so that we are in before the deadline, maybe even far before the deadline, maybe as close to when the portal opens as possible if we're worried that it might close early due to the volume of submissions. Now, this superpower does not mean that we are doing heroic things. In fact, I really hope that that's not the case for you. So this isn't about trying to fit more hours into a day or into a work week, but rather how you see the distinct components of each application as they move from first idea through drafting and into submission so that you can get all the moving pieces done and coordinated in order to submit on your desired timeline. The amount of data, the number of reports, the number of newsletters that we individually and collectively as grant professionals consume is huge. So that we're aware of funders, so that we're aware of trends. And when we think about a specific project or a specific application, we are used to becoming very deeply, dangerously knowledgeable about a particular topic, even if it isn't our personal subject matter expertise. We read reports and data and try to find the components that are going to help build on our story. All of a sudden, we have a laser focus or X-ray vision, if you will, for what is the data piece that is going to best connect with that grant maker. So to me, that's the power of X-ray vision as it relates to all the data we consume. And our last one, I'm going to say that it's the power of shape shifting. Not we personally, but we as a grant seeking organization. Who you are, what you do, the work and the programs and services should not be what's changing, but rather the language choice you might use, the approach, this impact story versus this data presentation. That is changing a little bit about your approach for each grant making opportunity, each review situation to ensure that who you are stays the same, but that you are telling the story in the way that is most powerful for the particular grant maker. Did you hear a superpower that sounded like you? I'm hoping you did, and I feel pretty confident that at least one of these applied to you. And maybe it was just that you needed a reminder. But if you have other superpowers that come to mind or other ways that you want to describe them, and you think about what it looks like next to your photo, whether it's on LinkedIn or not, I want to hear about it. And so I hope that you'll share with me. What are your superpowers? Reach out to me on LinkedIn, send me a direct email, wherever you want to tell us what your superhero power is. As a grant professional is exactly where I want to hear it. But it's not just about you. Please don't forget about all your colleagues around you and their superhero powers, the things that they bring to the table that ensure your work is super competitive. Let's give them a shout out too. Reach out and let me know what their superhero power is. Maybe you even want to use this as a fun icebreaker or kind of team celebration within your organization. I certainly hope that you will. I am so proud of each and every one of you. I'm so proud of each and every one of my team members, of my colleagues, of my friends, my colleagues who have become friends in the grant space. The work we do, it matters. It creates change and impacts near and far. So, congratulations on all the things you do. Please remember that you are superheroes, and our team, we're here to cheerlead you, support you, give you a boost whenever you need it because you are awesome.